Hello, 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 and welcome back to DLA Alternative with your boy Brandon. How's everyone doing? I have another Stranger Things theory for you. All right, in this one, I want to go back all the way to season 1, episode 5, The Flea and the Acrobat. This episode, in my mind, was extremely important to know what's really going on and not just how to get into the upside down. Okay? Bear with me. So, the flea and the acrobat. Mr. Clarke's lesson to the boys at Will's funeral. Okay? They ask him for help and information about how to possibly get into another dimension. Their dimension meaning the Veil of Shadows. So, he explains to them by drawing a tightrope with an acrobat on it, a line, 2 lines with a stick figure representing an acrobat. Okay, and then he explains that the tightrope is like our dimension. After he draws the 2 lines and talks about the acrobat, he explains that the acrobat can move in one direction or the other. And that's how our dimension works. Then he puts a little flea drawing right next to the acrobat. And he explains that the flea can also go forwards and backwards. But the flea is also able to go on the side of the dimension, okay, and go forwards and backwards. And he can also go underneath, which they think he's talking about the upside down, which he could be. We're really not sure. Who knows exactly? However, they associate that with the upside down. So this flea can go in our dimension, on the side of it, and underneath it. And he explains that that tightrope is a numerous amounts of parallel universes. So all equal timelines considerably, but a bunch of them all bunched up into, say, a rope. So in between that rope, based off his explanation, that would mean that there's a bunch of universes if the upside down is all the way at the bottom and Hawkins is at the top, right? They're asking how to get to the upside down. Well, he explains it would take a large amount of energy to create a crack in time and space. After he states that, he says it's really not possible. However, we know that it is possible. We got your girl 11. We know that's possible. And it's already been done. But they're trying to figure out how to do it themselves, or how to locate the area where this is going on, or how to get there. So if that's the case, and they're trying to get to the upside down and that crack's there, in between that tightrope, that would mean there's a bunch of different universes, a bunch of them, and the upside down is at the bottom. So that crack, going through that crack, you would be going through a bunch of universes until you get to there. My explanation for that is, why don't we see these universes, right? Well, maybe we have. We don't know that, but maybe we have. Reason being, when Henry gets put into the upside down, it shows the crack, right? And it shows when we go inside of it. We don't see Henry right away. We just see him break up into particles that creates this crack. So his particles of himself created the crack with a mix of 11. So in that scene, basically, you see the inside of the crack and the whole image starts to turn with it, right? So there's that in between. That's inside of the tightrope. in my opinion, of what we're seeing there, right? So we're seeing it turn, we're seeing ourselves go through the tightrope. Or does Henry get trapped inside of the tightrope? Because what we see when Henry goes to the upside down, right, is that he doesn't go to the dark blue area upside down. He doesn't make it there. He goes into like a yellowish, an orangish, and then a reddish, eventually a reddish place or layer, as they call it, Vecna's layer. Well, the only part of the red area that we see in the upside down is through lightning, okay, which I've explained in another video. Go check it out. However, that's the only time we see any form of red in the upside down. And we see a lot of that in season 2 when Billy is being affected, okay? And there's the whole theory that Billy was actually being affected by Vecna that entire time. So if all we see is little bits of that red area shining through lightning, that red area is somewhere else other than the upside down. That's got to be obvious. So Henry, in my opinion, and my theory, is that he is trapped inside of the tightrope. Now, he didn't make it to the upside down. So, with that being said, the major point of this video, the flea and the acrobat. The flea is allowed or can go anywhere, right? They can go on one side of it, on the other. They can go upside down. Anything, right? 11, I don't think is that flea. 11 is, I mean, I don't even know if you guys were thinking that 11 is that. Let me know in the comments. But I've always thought that 11 was the flea, right? And then I thought Will was the flea because they're the only ones you see going in, right? Going into the upside down, coming out. Well, in season 4, when 11 goes to the red area, if you checked out my mushroom theory, I call it Henry's cap, like the mushroom cap. Go check those videos out too. Shameless plug. Well, in season 4, 11 doesn't go to that area herself. She gets pulled in by Henry to that area. She can't go in there at will. So that would debunk the fact that she would be the flea, right? If she can't go into that area. She's just a major energy source that can open those areas, open a crack into the tightrope or timeline and go all the way through to the upside down. She's just the energy source. She's not the flea. So who is the flea? With this theory, it's only a theory. It's not confirmed, like I always say. With this theory, I'm calling it that your girl Max is going to be the flea, or has been the flea. She wasn't in season 1, so we would be thinking it's someone involving season 1, if anybody is even still thinking about this. But Max wasn't in season 1, so it would throw us off as viewers. And people might have forgotten by season 2 that whole episode and that whole scenario about how Mr. Clarke explains how to get into the upside down, being a human, right? Unless you're a flea. And Max, we know she doesn't have powers. So we think. However, in season 4, the first time she almost gets trapped and taken from us by Vecna, in the Dear Billy episode, she gets pulled in, right, by Vecna. But she gets pulled in to the Upside Down, or a dark area that looks like the Upside Down. Got another theory coming out involving that as well. However, she gets pulled into the dark area in the graveyard or the cemetery, and Vecna's chasing her, and he's scaring the living shit out of her. I'm just going to say it. She's running, right? And she hides behind the tombstone. But then Vecna can't find her, and she turns to look, and she starts to see the red area. And she walks towards it. And she enters that red area because either Vecna allowed her to walk in there, or the reason I don't think that's true is because Vecna asks Max, "How did you get in here, Max?" So, to our knowledge, we don't know, and Vecna doesn't know how Max entered his lair. Henry's cap. Check out the mushroom theory. We don't know how Max got in there. All we know is that Max was able to get in there. And all we know is if we jump back to Mr. Clarke's lesson in season 1, that only the Flea can go wherever they want. So Max, your girl Max, must be the Flea. She's been able to get out of there. She's been able to get in there. She's been able to focus her mind in order to even tell Vecna, "Hey, pull me in here." Trying to help, and she ends up almost sacrificing herself at the end. Spoiler if you haven't seen it, but I'm sure you have if you're watching this. She's got to be the Flea, people. She's the only one. 11 wasn't able to do it. Everyone else, they're all the acrobats going right through the timeline or the tightrope. Max got pulled in initially, but she got herself out with music, and she entered that red area, Henry's lair, Henry's cap. Check it out. She entered that area at will. Literally at will. She was able to do it on her own. And Vecna stated, "How did you get in here?" She's got to be the Flea, people. She's got to be the Flea, people. Let me know down in the comments. It's your boy Brandon with DLA Alternative. I hope you like this one. I got some more theories I'm going to be dropping. Keep a lookout. Keep subscribing. Thank you to everyone who has. It's blowing my mind. It's crazy. I just started going crazy with this channel literally about a month ago. And we're already at 35, 34 subscribers. And a month ago, we were at 2. I could not be happier. I've wanted to do YouTube my entire life. And I'll be honest with you, I've always been so nervous just to speak. Well, those nerves went away. Your boy is here, and I hope you like the videos. Let me know your thoughts. I love you guys. Peace out, everyone. We out.